What's going on, guys? It's your boy Zach No C here, and today I am debuting a brand new segment for you guys, the monthly Best Tracks Recap. Towards the end of every month, I'm going to be taking a look back and sharing my thoughts on some of my favorite songs and singles that came out over the past 30-odd days. So this one isn't a ranking, so I won't be putting the songs in any particular order or anything, but I will be saving my favorite track for the last spot, so make sure you watch to the end of the video to get a look at what that one was. This month was a bit of a slow one on the album front, however, there was a ton of wicked singles that did come out, so it only makes sense for me to shine a spotlight on some of my favorite stuff and share it with all you guys. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So, kicking off this month's Best Tracks recap, I have to give a shout out to the new single from bbno, Bad to the Bone. The last time we heard from bbno was back in January with the single Help Herself, which is a song that I absolutely love. It saw bbno changing pace a little bit and experimenting with some more indie pop and bedroom pop aesthetics. This time though, bbno is back in the stew, with frequent collaborator Lentra adding another track to their already awesome catalog of super witty, super catchy, super tongue-in-cheek trap music. Lentra single-handedly produced bbno's last record, Good Luck Have Fun, which I absolutely loved, and this track is no different. It follows the same kind of formula that these two guys are known for. bbno brings a ton of super charismatic and funny bars and attitude to the track, and Lentra has his trademark, very wonky, almost nautical Neptunes-inspired production that I absolutely adore every time he puts out a track. And yeah, Bad to the Bone, it slaps. So if you're into what bbno and Lentra have been doing together up to this point, you will not be disappointed by this one whatsoever. On to the next one, I gotta talk about this new Dominic Fike cover of the Paul McCartney single, The Kiss of Venus. This is actually the lead single to Paul McCartney's upcoming 3 Imagined project, from what I understand, which is sort of like a remix project and a covers project, remixing songs that turned up on his McCartney 3 album that released last year in December, I believe. This one is much more than just a cover of The Kiss of Venus, though. The song really lives up to the title of the album that it exists within by bringing a total reimagining of the original McCartney version. The song has a brand new reworked instrumental and even has some new lyrics in it too. I mean, it still does share a lot of key elements with the McCartney original, but the very low-key acoustic balladry of that song has been completely traded in for much more groovy and anthemic production this time around. Dom shows a ton of personality on the track, as he typically does, and even works in some of his trademark vocal manipulations and very progressive instrumentation here. To me, this cover absolutely goes above and beyond and pulls off the near impossible feat of making a song that I genuinely believe is superior to the original that it is meant to be covering. And for me personally, I mean, I think the last time that I paid attention to anything that Paul McCartney was doing was when he released 4 or 5 Seconds with Rihanna and Kanye West, however many years ago that was. So the fact that I am now so excited for McCartney 3 to come out and see what these other covers and remixes sound like is really saying something. Young Gravy is back with a fresh remix of one of the tracks that was on his Gassa Nova LP that came out last year. He is teaming up with Lil Wayne for a remix to the song Oops. I dug the original track quite a bit, and I think that Lil Wayne's contributions over here really amplify the already absolutely hilarious and tongue-in-cheek energy that the song was carrying with the original version. Very synth-heavy, danceable beat on this one, and a very catchy hook from Young Gravy, so if you like what Gravy's been doing up to this point, you're guaranteed to dig this track, and honestly, I think it's a pretty solid entry point for someone who's not familiar with his music too, so if you haven't heard it, definitely check it out. Ugh, water time. Okay, next up, they're back. The boys are back. The best boy band since One Direction is back with a brand new single. Yes, I am talking about the song BUZZCUT by Brockhampton. This is their first official single since 2019, and anybody who knows me knows that I've been a borderline obsessive Brockhampton fan ever since those first Saturation singles started popping up in early 2017. And I don't know what else to say. I really don't know what else to say about this track other than the boys have done it again. They've done it again. They have absolutely recreated the magic. I honestly think that this is my favorite song Brockhampton has dropped probably since Saturation 3. That's not to say that I didn't love their past two records or anything. It's just that this song is recapturing that energy that I had missed so much on the past two records, the very youthful exuberance of the stuff that they were doing back in 2017 has totally come back, but it's graduated in a way now. It's very fresh, it's very new, and it doesn't feel like Brockhampton is just spinning their tires and rehashing old stuff because they know it's what the fans want. This is a very artistic continuation of what they were doing in their early work. A little out of character for them to include a feature on here. Brockhampton, as far as I understand, has never actually dropped any official commercial music with a noted feature before, at least not a rap verse. So the fact that Danny Brown comes on this song and absolutely kill it in the way that he does is really exciting to me. Not a ton of group vocals on this one. Aside from Danny, the only other vocal appearances come from a Kevin Abstract verse and then an outro that's handled by Joba and Merlin. But the beat that Ramil, Jabari, and Kiko have put together on this thing is absolutely insane. It's so crazy. It's so psychedelic. The music video is absolutely fantastic as well, so definitely check this one out if you haven't seen it yet. The energy that these guys bring on the track is just absolutely insane and has completely revitalized my fandom of them. It was just announced, I think yesterday, that the new album is due out April 9th, Roadrunner. I am so excited for it if this track is any indication of what we're gonna get on that record. I also enjoyed this cut off of the new album Breakup by Rural Internet a lot. The song is called Government, and it features some absolutely insane experimental energy. There is tons of political bars on here. There's tons of genre mashing. There's tons of crazy sonics. I really don't know how to pin this down whatsoever to a genre. My best description is if like 100 gecs teamed up with like Tame Impala and Skrillex, and then got like XXXTentacion Up Out the Grave to team up with Danny Brown on the vocal end of things. Like, it is just the weirdest like mixture of like SoundCloud rap and hyperpop and indie rock and a million other things, if that even remotely makes sense, which honestly it probably doesn't, so you should definitely just go listen to it for yourself. And another high note for me this month was the new solo single from Laura Less of 100 gecs fame. The track is called Haunted. It's her first dose of solo music in quite a few years now, and honestly, while it isn't that much of a departure from the stuff that 100 gecs has been doing up to this point, it is still an absolutely fantastic hyperpop jam. Laura sings some very paranoid, almost manic lyrics on the track, and her vocal delivery is really intense as well. I mean, the track devolves into just straight up, chopped up, like auto-tuned screams once the hook comes in. It's got a really wild and sinister energy to both the vocals and the production, and honestly, while it's not quite as built out as most of the stuff that usually comes out of 100 gecs discography, it is still a really incredible track in itself. I wanted to give a quick nod to this new Benny the Butcher track. It's Overall featuring Chinx Drugs. I'm not going to get too descriptive about this one because I literally just reviewed the Plugs I Met To, which you can check out right up here if you haven't already. But what more can I say about this track that I haven't already? It's got a really wicked vibe. I really like the instrumental on this thing. It's got some killer verses from Benny and Chinx. I love Chinx's hook on this one too. Honestly, the track almost reminds me of like something that I'd hear in like a 70s blaxploitation film or something. And actually, you know what, while I'm talking about this one, I may as well bring up the only other Benny-assisted track that I have on this list. This time it is the song Diet 1.5 by Denzel Curry and Kenny Beats. This track was my absolute favorite off of their Unlocked 1.5 remix EP that they dropped a little earlier on this month, and this time it is reloaded with a brand new verse from Benny, who absolutely kills it. There is tons of awesome wordplay in Benny's verse. I have literally never heard him rap over a beat like this, but now that I have, I am just absolutely salivating at the thought of him and Kenny Beats doing a project together. Kenny versus Benny? Anyone? Huh? You know, maybe I'm onto something here, maybe I'm not, but you know what? I'm going to be crossing my fingers for that project. Nearing the end of this list now, I do want to give a shout out to one of the more conceptual tracks that dropped this month. It is the very cute and very funny story-based track from Aesop Rock, Long-Legged Larry. This guy literally never fails to just completely defy my expectations of what a hip-hop song has to be topically. So this track is a song about one particularly heroic bullfrog. Yes, I said bullfrog. I am 100% serious. This song features a couple of verses, all separately taking a look at some of Long-Legged Larry's various rescues. You know, saving cats stuck in trees, maidens stuck in towers, dogs stuck on tightropes, you know, you get the idea. Ace brings his trademark vocabulary and dense lyricism to the track and rides over a pretty groovy boom bap beat that doesn't sound too unlike the ones that have been on his last two solo records. Honestly though, despite its rather outlandish topic, I mean, the lyricism is really up to snuff here, the instrumental is really up to snuff here, and this track could absolutely go up to bat with any other hip-hop song that has dropped in 2021 so far. Also gotta show some love to this new Lil Nas X single that just came out. It's Montero, Call Me By My Name. I like the very smooth, almost Latin-flavored instrumental, and ooh boy, Lil Nas X's vocals are mixed so crisp in here. I just love how he sounds riding on this track. I hear the track's got a pretty interesting music video, at least that's what I was hearing on Reddit a little bit earlier today, so who knows, maybe if you guys want, I can go and do a reaction to that music video and put it up here on the channel. Let me know in the comments if that's something that you guys would be into. Alright, and before I get into my favorite track of March 2021, I do gotta give a shout out to this brand new single from Quadeca. The title is Sisyphus. Now, I've never heard of this dude before whatsoever, but this song popped up in my YouTube recommended just a couple of weeks ago, and I would be lying if I said I wasn't absolutely blown away by it. The instrumental is absolutely stunning with these just beautiful acoustic guitar and string melodies worked in. Quadeca also brings some absolutely breathtaking vocal harmonies on this track that almost kind of remind me of something that I would have heard off like the back end of Blonde, or maybe something Joji would have played with off his past couple of records. But I don't want to say it's a dead ringer for those things or anything, because this song is decidedly very much its own thing. The beat just builds and builds throughout the track, only dropping off sometimes to just rebuild that energy right back up. I mean, the instrumental on this thing, I literally cannot give enough praise to. I am absolutely in love with it. Vocally, Quadeca actually almost reminds me a little bit of what Kevin Hackett was doing off of his Youth LP that dropped just a couple of years ago, especially on the front of the rapping. I've checked out a little bit of his other music now, but from what I can tell, this is the first time that he's really done something that's this grand and in this style. So I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye out for him moving forward, and from what I understand, he's even dropping an album at the end of this month, so maybe keep an eye out for that review. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. What the fuck am I doing? My favorite track that dropped this month has to go to the debut single from Silk Sonic, Leave the Door Open. So the second that I heard Anderson .Paak and Bruno Mars were going to be doing a collab album together, my expectations were already like in the stratosphere at that point. It's not often that a single will just absolutely stop me in my tracks, especially if it's something that I already expected to be really incredible, but like holy hell, man. I mean, this one is just, it's just absolutely excellent. S-tier single, instant classic, whatever kind of praise that I can give to this song, I am giving it. It is a very smooth R&B soul cut that could absolutely go up to bat against any classic from the golden age that you could possibly throw at it. Mixing very lush instrumentation with just absolutely show-stopping vocal performances from both Bruno and Anderson .Paak. From what I understand, there was even some instrumental input from Bootsy Collins on this track, just to give you guys a kind of idea of the type of excellence that they were really striving for on this cut. It is sexy, it is sensual, it is charming, and if the rest of the record that is supposed to be coming out sounds absolutely anything like this, it will be an immediate Album of the Year candidate. No cap! No cap! Ugh. Put that back on. And that is it, guys. So just like with all my other videos, everything that I talked about today is going to be linked down in the description. So definitely check out these tracks if you have not heard them yet. Thanks to everybody who watched today's video. If you like what you saw, be sure to drop a like, and if you're new around here, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to get notified whenever I upload new videos. Also follow me on Instagram @_NoCNotes to get access to all of my exclusive live streams that I do over there, as well as some other content and updates. I appreciate you coming by, guys. Thank you so much for watching NoCNotes. My name is Zach NoC. Stay hydrated, and I will see you guys for the next one. Peace.